Well, Indian finally did something that I think is going to be a problem for Harley Davidson. They just came out with this Indian Chief Vintage. I have always said I wasn't a big fan of the way Indian looks. I just didn't like the proportions, the dimensions, the paint. I really wasn't a huge fan. After all, I'm a Harley guy, and here I am telling you right now that I think they've done something that Harley should have been doing for the last few years, let's face it. Triumph took all the small displacement motorcycles away from Harley's potential. The Nightster is basically a worthless thing in their lineup, as is the Sportster S. Triumph went and did what Harley should have done with the real Sportster. They took all the small displacement, and now Indian is taking away the cruisers, I think, because for people who like the look of the vintage Indian, this bike is going to be for them, and it is all over the internet. Facebook pages, YouTube, everybody is talking about it. It's exactly what Harley was supposed to do with their releases for 2026, and instead what they did was they gave us just new paint. Oh, we made a limited, which we should have done when we first came out with the new bike anyway. So well, congratulations, you did something you should have been doing for the last couple of years. There was nothing in the Harley lineup that built any kind of excitement whatsoever. They added some $55,000 CVOs and stuff like that, but overall, they did nothing. And I've been saying in a few videos now the last couple months, they have to do something exactly what Indian just did. Go back, look at what made them really popular. Take the knucklehead. I am not saying take the 1930s knucklehead exactly. I'm saying take a knucklehead look in a smaller displacement, 60 cubic inches. Make it all modern tech. Basically make a bike that was a 36 to 1940 knucklehead in today's technology, but with that look, and they would have something worth talking about. Well, that's what Indian did. That's what they did with this vintage Chief, and they knocked it out of the park. It looks very, very nice, and quite frankly, it's something that I want to test ride. Why? The colors look good. They kept it simple. Let's offer red. Let's offer black. The starting point at around 20 grand is not bad considering you're getting the 116 engine that's got 120 foot-pounds of torque. That's a nice engine in that bike, and it really moves pretty quick. This is a bike that's going to be 700 pounds. Now, the one thing that I noticed in their specs is there's a 4-gallon gas tank. I know that doesn't sound like a big deal, and if you're going to just use it for a cruiser, it's going to be plenty fine. But for those people who like to knock out hundreds and hundreds of miles a day, and they're riding with people that a lot of them have tour bikes, especially in the Harley crowd, and even the larger Indians that have those larger 5.5 gallon tanks or even larger, well, it's going to be a little bit annoying, but that is a very minor thing. And overall, that size tank fits in beautifully with the lines of the motorcycle. I think what Indian has done is they have built momentum for 2026. They've built excitement. People who love Indian are going to be flocking and taking a look at this bike, and it may draw in people who, like myself, traditionally haven't even bothered to look at Indian. And it's got all the tech as well, and so it's got the ABS, and it's got the ride modes, and it's got the electronic display that's going to give you all the information and Bluetooth connectivity and ABS and all this stuff. So it's got all the modern tech, but it's got it wrapped up in nostalgia. And now there's two motorcycle companies who are eating away at Harley Davidson. You've got Triumph on the smaller end with those vintage bikes that look very, very nice. Not for me, a little too small, but I understand why people ride them. And now you've got Indian eating into that. Now, this is just one motorcycle, and you could say, hey, you know what, you're making a lot of just one bike. And maybe I am. However, if they catch on and they start doing this and start fixing the lines of their motorcycles, which I've never found, at least in the modern versions, to be all that appealing. If they start fixing the Scout, if they start fixing their touring motorcycles so they're a little bit more visually appealing, they may really be onto something. And Harley Davidson is in no position to sit back and keep offering the same things again and again. They have got to do something, and I'm sorry. That one-cylinder Sprint is not going to do anything. It's a foreign-made motorcycle that nobody in America is going to want to ride because there's no nostalgia to it. Nobody is looking back to Harley Davidson in the 1960s and 70s and saying, wow, you know what I really miss is that one-cylinder motorcycle that I used to have. That percentage is so minuscule, and the bike never looked good even back then. And so they're going to have to go back further. They're going to have to reconnect with their roots. Heck, come out with a Springer. come out with a Softail Deluxe again. Do something, because other companies are. I want to hear from you. What do you think? Do you think that this new Indian is going to move the needle for Indian in 2026? It's going to be a tough market, as we've said before. If you want to see my reaction to their 2026 lineup, I'll put that in the upper right-hand corner, but I'll also put in the lower right-hand corner what I said Harley needed to do. This was months ago. I've been saying this now since this channel started. As always, thank you so much for being here. Ride safe if you're out there riding. Stay warm. We'll see you next week.